I want to ask this question. Is player development the same for every player that you get through your door? Are you lining them up doing the same drills? Is the same?
Oh no.
It's like wearing the same outfit to the party. Can't do that.
I go to the club, I'm wearing it.
What Gucci man gotta have some sauce. You gotta change the sauce.
Player development, it starts even before you even get the kid on the court. Because what you got to do is you got to sit there, you got to analyze the kid. You got to identify his strengths and his weaknesses. And your job as player development is I want to make his weaknesses his strengths eventually. And you have to get him to buy into that. Now, you know what I mean? You have trainers, you have this and that. I don't consider myself a trainer because to train, you're just staying at that level, you know what I mean? And you're just staying the par. You know what I mean? We want to go above and beyond. I got what I consider a dangling carrot. And I'm going to dangle the carrot in front of you.
And they never make it to that carrot.
Tell them about the carrot. So I'm going to never make it. Hey man, listen, we got an Olympian. We got the number 1 pick in the draft. We got number 3 pick in the draft 2 times. We got hundreds of college players, you know what I mean, pros, but you know what I mean, this carrot stay moving no matter who you are. So when you actually get there, you like, yeah, now what? What you mean now? What is up here? You know what I mean? We set the marker and we continue to move that marker so that, you know what I mean, you would never achieve it, but the success that you achieve along the way is far beyond what you would ever imagine, you know what I mean, when you first entered the program.
You had a couple of guys when you talk about dangling that carrot, man. Let's talk about a couple of these guys specifically, man. What was the journey of a guy like Jaylen Brown like? I know when I first saw him, right, I could not believe the kid was in high school. When I walked in and saw him, I got a call, was like, hey, man, you got to go over to Wheeler and catch a game. They got this kid that looked like LeBron. I go see Jaylen, man, y'all playing Walton. And he's running and he's dunking everything, and he looks like a grown man. What was that like developing a kid like that?
Oh well, JB came to a program 6th grade, and I tell the people the story all the time. You know what I mean? One of the biggest things about JB's development was his mom. You know what I mean? She didn't have a titty in his mouth.
Right.
So he knew, you know what I mean?
You gotta go get it.
I got it. Like, you know what I mean? No matter what
I gotta go get it.
You know what I mean? I gotta get out of here and grind. And
right.
You know what I mean? He got in the gym and he worked at his craft. Like, he wanted to be great. And he was one of the first kids that challenged me. You know what I mean? And not only, and when I say challenge me, you know what I mean? He questioned, so why are we doing this? You know what I mean? What's the reason for it? And I'm saying, like, this is what I do. What you mean, what's the reason for? So that alone let me know, you know what? He's going to be special, because you can't just tell JB this is what it is and he's going to go for it. Yeah. And this was at 13, 14, 15.
Right.
But the other good thing, like he said about his mother, was not only was she not babysitting him, but she trusted the process. Like, when she brought him, she dropped him off, she didn't ask no questions. And it wasn't in a manner like she was afraid, but she just trusted, you know, everything that was being placed around him for him to grow and develop into who he became.
So right. Do we think that's an issue right now?
That's a major issue.
Is this the reason where some kids never reach the potential could?
It's real simple, man. If I take my car, if I got a truck, a GMC truck, if I take it to GMC to fix my truck, I don't need to be back there up under the hood. Let them do what they do. You know, especially if you got a proven track record. And before I came to the situation, the track record was already proven, you know, of what Wheeler had done, you know.
Right.
So you got to understand, like, that's like going in the dentist's office telling the dentist, look, I need a calc, but I want you to do it. Like, nah, if you need a calc, you need to lay back and let us do what we do. So I think that's one of the biggest things, man. And it was a point to where, like, kids just, they knew what it was, okay? I'm coming here and I expect to get this, this, and this. And that's when it was fun. You know what I'm saying? When people knew what time it was.
Another aspect of JB and his development was his loyalty. You know what I mean? If his loyalty wasn't what it was, and if it wasn't embedded in him by his parents and by his family, the success might not be what it is. Because as a freshman, he didn't play it with. He barely got on the floor.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Now, any other kid, they transferring.
Out of
They
there.
gone.
Out of there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what he did was, you know what I mean? You know what? I'm going to teach you, coach.
Yep.
I'm going to teach you a lesson. And the lesson I'm going to teach you is, you know what I mean? I'm never going to sit nobody bench ever again. You know what I mean? And that was him. That was him. That was the challenging part. That was the challenging part. So now he like, you know what? Instead of you calling him and saying, JB, we need to work out at X, Y. Coach, we need to work out at X, Y, Z. So now he set the table. And now he becomes a leader.
And watch, I'm going to give you this story. His 8th grade summer when he came in the gym, there was 3 kids that was freshmen that was in the gym that year. Daniel Giddens, who was 6'8". He might have been, top 10?
Top 10,
Keywan Johnson, who was really
player.
the number 1 player in the country. And then JB, who was behind supposedly all of them. Out of all 3 of them kids, guess what he said? That's the one. And I was like, you sure? That's the one. He was about 6'1", 6'2". He was long. That was at the beginning of the summer. When the school year started, he was about 6'4", 6'5". We go to Woodstock. Me and him jump in the car. I'm coaching the JV for 2 quarters. And at that time, like, the JV played in one spot and the varsity played in another spot. So he's splitting time. 2 quarters JV, he gonna play 3 quarters with the varsity. So we go up the road, he say, Mays, let him rock for 2 quarters. Just let him go. I said, all right. So we jump out there. Woo! When I tell you this dude dropped a quick 20 in 2 quarters, and he scored every which way possible. I'm talking about to the rim, mid-range, on the bounce, off the 3. He scored every way possible. And he was sitting behind the bench. And every time he would do something, I'll turn around and go, let him go, let him go, let him go. There was probably 3 minutes left before the end of the second quarter. And I was like, nah, man, I'm finna take him out, man, because he had did everything that you could expect. Like, wasn't nothing else to do. So when we got in the car, me and him was just like, it was the quietest drive ever from Woodstock. Because we were like, hey, man, we got something. So we get to, hey, listen, Lip, this is it, man. This is the one. I mean, and the rest of it is history, man.
So, Coach, you telling me you got the number 1 player in the country. You got another player that's probably top 10, top 20 in the country. And you point to the guy that nobody knows yet and says, this is the guy?
I'm always taking the underdog. He got the easiest fight because nobody knows him. You know what I mean? So everything that he does is for him and to get better. You know what I mean? When you already at the top, it's hard to motivate and it's hard to push, you know what I mean? Because they're already getting all the accolades they believe is successful. You know what I mean? So give me the kid that got something to prove, and I'm going to show you a pro.
And mentally, the way he put it together, like, he just kind of drew up a hit list. So we got to play this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude. And it was like he was pouring gunpowder on me. You got to go at this dude head, this dude head, this dude head, this dude head. And if he didn't get it done, nah, you ain't ready. And that just fueled his fight. You know what I'm saying? That just made him to the point where he was just like, I am ready. I'm putting in the work. Well, if you putting in the work, when you get on the floor, your game got to translate against these top kids in the country. if you expect to be here.